Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kimball Curiosities. Today's episode is going to be on Obi-Wan Kenobi, episodes 1 and 2. What I'm going to do is firstly give you my feedback on it without any spoilers, and then I'm going to go into in-depth review of each episode and explain each parts of it to what I think is going to happen and feedbacks of the weakness and strengths of each of the certain sections of the episodes. So I will give without spoilers, and then will be spoilers, and I'll give you enough chance to cancel it if you haven't had a chance to see it. Let's get into it. Let's start with, of course, my feedback. Well, it was both good and sometimes utter crap. And all I gotta say, it looked like two sets of groups of writers and director took part in the two episodes. It's just you have parts of it where you're going like, oh man, yeah, I can't wait for the next part. And then you see the next part and it's like, where did that come from? Or oh my god, it's pretty bad. Um to be quite honest, it was it had its ups and downs. That's all I gotta say. Do I recommend it right now? Yes, I do recommend it. Now, some people say they shouldn't have touched this and not bring Obi-Wan Kenobi in. But you know what? All I got to say is throughout the first two episodes, Ewan McGregor has proven Kathleen Kennedy's statement wrong. He has played an iconic character from a previous Star Wars series and has portrayed it very well. And the way she comes out and says they learned the fact that not to do bring iconic characters and replace them with other actors is a load of crap. Now, personally, I liked Han Solo. Other people don't, but me, I did like it for what it is. Yes, it didn't have, again, it had some problems with it. I'm not denying that. But overall, it was a good, as I call it, popcorn movie. And that's my opinion. I digress. All right, so what do I mean by different two writers? Well, when Obi-Wan Kenobi was presented, I think the dialogue and the plot lines were really well done. There was a couple of weak moments, but you can't expect to try to fit into everything that there's going to be smoothed over. The Inquisitors, it was portrayed pretty badly, in my opinion. There was a lot of overacting and a lot of underacting. And I will get into it when I review the episodes of what I mean if you want to stay tuned. Other than that, so far in my prediction, as I said in my previous video of the trailer of Obi-Wan Kenobi, you can check that out on my channel. I think the third sister is going to turn to the light side and save Obi-Wan Kenobi somehow. That's just my opinion at the end of the day. And rumor mills have come out and said that's exactly what's going to happen, that she's going to get back. Well, I don't want to say more because I'll give spoilers away if you don't want spoilers if you haven't heard. I can talk about it in the during the review of the episodes. That's about it. That's all I got to say without giving spoilers. There's some good, like I said, good moments and bad moments, frustrating moments where you're scratching your head. But I do recommend, if you're a Star Wars fan, to at least give it a try and form your own opinion. That's all I got to say in regards without ending up giving out spoilers. Now, let's get into review of the episodes and point out some sections of the two episodes. So if you don't want to see any spoilers, check out now. All right, now let's get into reviewing the episodes and giving the strengths and weaknesses of each episodes, the high points and the low points, as well as where direction I think it's heading based on some of the hints. Episode 1 gives a quick brief review of what happened in episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars. And we open up Obi-Wan with a shot of Coruscant just as Order 66 is released. And then we zoom into training center where a bunch of Padawans are being trained. Jedi Knight. And just as they're about in the midst of it, the two clone troopers come in and start shooting. Order 66 is given. And they go. And then she fights and gets killed. And I quickly, like that. Down she goes. And then you've got 5 Padawans looking over a dead body. One says, "What should we do?" Yeah, this particular Padawan says, "We run." And this is Riva. Somebody said that this was Riva, but no, this is Riva right here. He takes the charge. And here's my thought, and this is what the gist of the movie is that she is obsessed with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it's because, and you'll see some flashbacks of her witnessing the death of all the Jedi Knights and her left on her own, that's why she's obsessed with Obi-Wan, thinking that he is left them to die, didn't come and protect them. Got to put this full screen, so screen. And then we get the Obi-Wan opening sequence. And then we get the Inquisitor ship coming in. The Grand Inquisitor comes in to question what's going on, saying that they have hint that there is a Jedi amongst the group. Heads into the bar and starts questioning and makes a speech about, the strength. The Jedi's weakness is their strength, is that they have to help somebody. And because he helped this bartender, rumors got to him that he was being helped. And they will come out of the woodwork when the person's in danger. There's the second brother. And there's Riva, the third sister. He starts questioning what's going on. And let's go back here. Let's play it for a second here. He's talking away. And then she gives this disdained look here. And this is the beginning of the overacting that I'm talking about. It's like, I can't be bothered to listen to this grandstanding. At the time, the Grand Inquisitor is doing a great job with his acting. I said it was pretty level-headed. He's doing order. Now, some people say, well, the Inquisitors were ruthless and just did anything. And anyways, sorry, I'm distracted with what I was saying here. Just give me a second here. Sorry. Riva picks up a knife, throws it, and it stopped. So this is Nari, a Jedi Knight. Because of her patience, she brings him out. As he's trying to escape, she jumps in front of him. And then he goes, "You will not stop any of us." And then she tries to kill him with her impatience. And this is again the overacting of her. He stops her, Grand Inquisitor, throws her aside. He gets away. Just like that. Then we get into a little debate about her lack of control, and she goes, "We're hunting for scraps, hunting for scrap. Just this, there's bigger fish to play." It's like she's impatient, she's obstinate, she disobeys rules, she doesn't. At the very beginning, it doesn't show any um, respect for order and command. Now, I know the Inquisitors are more rogue-like characters, but at the same time, they do have a structure. You got the Grand Inquisitor, you have the first, second, whatever brothers and sisters, and they all come from former being Jedis or the Jedi Knight Temple Guards. This this is where the overacting is, like trying to portray her, in my opinion, to make her look this really evil person, because eventually when she comes to the light side, you're supposed to have this, oh, she's discovered herself. But we have no vested interest in her. We don't know where she came from other than the opening sequence. And it's just her acting was terrible in regards to, and it's the writing. It's to show her disdain, and it's just like, look at that. He does a good job there, the actor for and the interaction. But just look at her, just the look on her face. And she makes some ridiculous comment. That's again, this the direction I'm saying is that they're trying to make her out to be this heartless inquisitor with no care for any human beings other than trying to get Obi-Wan Kenobi and get up the chain of command. Then we head out to where Obi-Wan Kenobi is, and he's a what we would call a butcher. And he basically keeps himself a low profile, grabs a slice of meat, puts it into his pocket, into his, here, let's back up here. Just, there, oh, sorry. Grabs that, folds up piece of meat, and puts it away for his Obi, or whatever it is, the creature that he rides on. We'll see in a minute here. Right there, this creature. He gives him the meat, and then he shows up at his hideout, and we see R2D2 protecting as a security guard, buried, not to be seen. I'm pretty sure this is R2D2. No, it's not R2D2. Sorry, it's not R2D2. R2D2 is not there. That's right. I stand corrected. They were on course. Um, can't remember the planet. Sorry about that. Anyways, that's not R2D2. I stand corrected. That's a security droid. Anyways, we get into his daily routine. Meets up with the Jawa. We'll skip that. Has a bit of nightmares. I think this is where he'll start seeing um, this is where you'll start seeing Qui-Gon. He every once in a while says, "Help me, Master," throughout the show. Goes out, watches Luke, who's sitting there just imagining him being a space pilot, nothing more. And then he comes into at night, sneaks in, drops off the toy that he bought from the Jawa. And it's interesting because it's almost the exact same toy he played into Star Wars. That was an interesting tribute to the opening sequence of Star Wars. Now, this is where it just didn't make sense. Nigel and Neri shows up. Master Obi-Wan, you need to save me. You need to save me. Obi-Wan for 10 years has stayed in hiding, out of sight, out of mind, hasn't done anything to bring attention to himself. He is basically witnessed the order being, or the Jedi Knights being decimated, Padawans being killed by the very person, Anakin Skywalker, who he trained. So he has no vested interest right now. He's playing low because he is in charge of protecting Leia and and Luke Skywalker. So he shows up. It just didn't make sense. Here, what should have happened was when he got chased by the Inquisitors, Obi-Wan should have tracked him down and told him to bury his lightsaber, go on, live your normal life. The Jedi are all but extinct, is what he said. This poor Jedi just feels hopeless. And basically, Obi-Wan says, we're done. We've lost. Then we get into, we meet Leia, which apparently there was a leak. I didn't, like I said, I stayed away from leaks. It was a pleasant surprise. But this is the funny part. I laugh at this sequence, and I'm going to show you something. This is just, because it shows she brings out a boy right there. And right away, I went, are you kidding me? Are you serious about this? Are you serious about this? Because it reminded me of something. And people might maybe remember, maybe don't. But here we go. Huh? Doesn't it remind you of something? Yeah, it's a little bit different. A little antenna, a little round thing, a little eyes. This is from Batteries Not Included. You know, at least they could have come up with something a little bit more original instead of stealing from another Steven Spielberg directed show. It'd be interesting. I wonder if they offered Steven Spielberg some monies to copy the characters. All right. Anyways, we get into Leia, her responsibilities. They're having a ceremony. She gets ready, and we go back to Obi-Wan's doing the same thing, and then his interaction with Owen. And Owen basically tells him, like your father, when Obi-Wan says he needs to be trained, and he says, just like his father. And Obi-Wan takes that as, you know, a jab at him, and that's the way it goes. And then, and again, this interaction was great. This interaction was just phenomenal. It was, you know, nice, good hit to the, you know, bone. And then we get a different kind of thing happening. We have the Grand Inquisitors, not the Grand Inquisitor, the Inquisitors show up, and they're asking for, where is the Jedi? Where is the Jedi? And then she goes off. And she sits there. First, we will cut off your hands. And that way you will be, first thing, reminded of us. Again, trying to play her over. She's overacting here, and the writing is over. What I'm going to say is telling her to overact, because the script line, what should have been done here was she should have not. They should have just said, if you do not tell us where the Jedi, there will be consequences. Then we have an old lady in the background. She makes a comment that you have no rule here. We're the outer rim. And she goes up and slices her hands off. Now, it would have been more impactful, like I said, if she didn't say anything, just said, where's the Jedi? Or there's consequences. And then when the lady said that, slice off her hand. And then they make this, then they downplay his evilness by him looking at her disgustingly, the second brother. It's like we want to prop her up by lowering everybody else's down and overact her. It was just like, what the hell were you thinking? Then she threatens Owen and his family. Let me just see if I can play this here. He goes, "Can you think you can stop me?" And then she threatens, "If nobody brings him forward, he will die." And again, he goes, "She's going too far, going too far." And just as she's about to go and kill him, he puts out the bounty of the Jedi they were looking for, distracting her. Then they get into a little bit of an argument, and again, you see this fearness in her eyes. The fearness in her eyes. It's not her. It's just so overacting. It's pathetic. Then we go back to Leia. She is told that she's not an Organa, and she insults her cousin by using because she's force sensitive and reads him, and calls him out, calls him out. And in this sequence, the pictures of Alderaan are really good, really well, real good pictation of Alderaan, mountainous. You know, it was good, pretty good. Some people complain about the beginning; it was kind of too much of a, and it was part of some of the special effects wasn't the greatest there with Obi-Wan riding his creature. Anyways, she goes back out again, runs away. They sit there, and she runs into a bounty hunter. And then we get the silliest chase you could ever think of. Silliest chase you can think of. Here we are. We'll just walk you quickly through. Look at this. It got her surrounded, and then she starts running. And then it's like, oh, we got to run slow because we don't want to catch her right away. We got to ham it up. This was just. I'm not going to play it any further because it was just ridiculous. Then they say that, hey, Obi-Wan, you're the only one. You're the only one to rescue her. We don't trust anybody. Obi-Wan is going, no, you get somebody else. You're a senator. You can get bounty hunters and stuff like that. And it makes sense. And he says, Obi-Wan, again, this is where the writing is kind of weak. And it goes, I'm here for the child, for the boy. And that's where I'm going, no, he's there for both of them, Luke Skywalker and Leia. And he should be helping them both. Yeah, he's watching Luke Skywalker, but he should be paying all, he would not let Leia not be protected by him also. And so instead of them sitting there, him saying in the script, I got a duty to the boy, or I'm watching the boy, he should have said, like he said here, find somebody else. It's been 10 years. I'm not the same man that I once was. And that would have worked. That's all it would have had to do is cut that off. Boom. Because you can see he's a broken man. You can look at the look in his face. You can see his struggle, his pain, because he hasn't taken up his lightsaber in 10 years. Then we find out who actually kidnapped Princess Leia. We see him, the death of the Jedi here. I'm going to skip that. The Jedi dies here. He shows up, and Senator. There we go. Sorry. This senator shows up at his secret hideout. What? Obi-Wan would not let anybody know where he is. He wouldn't tell them. Yeah, they can still communicate with him, and yet somehow, Bail, Oregon finds him. Sorry, does not work. This is again poor writing. It should have been that he shows up. He could have known the planet that he was on by tracking the signal. Show up at the planet, and then Obi-Wan running into him and saying, "What are you doing here?" And then him trying to convince Obi-Wan to go rescue Leia when they found out that she was on planet. Look at the planet. Dayu, as I call it. Dayu. And we get Obi-Wan sit in the middle of the desert, digs up. You don't quite see that. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to see where we are in the movie here. Pardon me. He is. He digs up. Luke and his lightsaber. Then we find out the third sister is the one that's kidnapped Leia because she figures out that Bail and Kenobi have a connection. So she figures that will bring Obi-Wan out of the hiding. And he comes out of hiding to go after Leia. That is about for the episode 1. So as you can see in the like I said, it was just like 2 different writing staffs, 2 different directors, because if it was one director, you think the writing would be consistent. Ewan McGregor is doing a good job, marvelous job playing it. I'm not disappointed in that. Let's go with our second. Oops, let's go back here. So he shows up on Dayu, which looks like a what you would call it, a cyberpunk esque city. He's going around asking people, "Can you help me?" And they're telling him to get lost. And there you go. There's the look of the like a Japanese. I don't know. Some people say it looks like Japan. I do not know. I've never been to Japan, so I can't say. And then we have him walking, and then we get a scene here where the tribute to the clones. And this was a nice little tidbit, and it's the actor that played Django, um, all the other clones, and Boba Fett. I find this a nice little homage. I'm just disappointed that they didn't utilize this character a little bit more and I'll get into it because that's what I thought. I said, "Oh, he's gonna save his bacon." Now you got to understand, Obi-Wan is still trying to play low, not show any of his Jedi master skills or anything like that because he doesn't want to bring tension to himself. He needs to protect Obi-Wan, or sorry, not Obi-Wan, needs to protect Luke Skywalker. We run into this bunch of a little thing, and then we get a kid that tells Obi-Wan, "Hey, I know somebody who can help you. It's a Jedi." And we get this character here. His name was it here? Just bear with me. Yeah. Ija Istri, and he's a con artist. He pretends he's a Jedi, doesn't admit it, and it's a good little tidbit. It's a little bit funny. It does work. Is it necessary? Not really. But at the same time, it works because you would think that people would take advantage of the Jedi going underground and taking some credits and stuff like that. So Obi-Wan convinces him to help him out. And then we get something that's really, really nice. Let's see here. And it is a tribute to Alec Guinness. Oop, God dang it. There we go. There we go. Watch this. I love it. It was right away that I noticed the way he does, the way he moves his hand and everything else. That was a tribute to Alex Guinness, the way he played his character and sitting there and grabbing his mustache and beard. It was just phenomenal. Right away I caught that. And whoever put that in there, congratulations. It was a nice little tribute to Alec Guinness. And we have him break into some kind of meth lab, I guess we say. It was funny. Apparently, he steals some of this and ends up getting caught, I think, by these bounty hunters or smugglers. I don't know what you want to call them. And he gets kind of beaten up. Now, some people say, well, he was a grand. How could they do that to him? And they make a joke of him and everything else. And the thing is that he's trying to do a low profile on this. He does not want to have to use his Jedi tricks. And then they find that. So that was when they found that, that's when he should have did his Jedi tricks. But instead, what does he do? He throws some drugs, puts stuff on, and then walks out. Finds Leia. Finds Leia, and then she doesn't trust him at all for a bit. The Inquisitor finds, pardon me, the Inquisitor shows up, finds that he has escaped, and she gets sorry, bear with me. She gets caught by the Grand Inquisitor. Comes up to her, and again. She says, "We've done." They go, "You captured a senator's daughter," and she goes, "We've done worse." He's the voice. Now this is where he downplays. Like to me, that was where he kind of is. We don't do that kind of stuff, like and I, he's downplaying his evilness to upplay hers. This part was just terrible, and again, you see her disdain for even working underneath him. Then he tells her that you're nothing more than where you came from. You're nothing more than scum. You crawled to us because you lived in the underbellies and you needed something and you came to us. He relieves her of duty and tells her that she's done. And again, she's overacting, playing her character, like overacting her character. And instead of playing it to a smart way, it lost me. You have no vested interest. Like look at the smugness. Look at that smugness. It's like I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't work. That's not evil. That's just um obstinance, overconfidence. Uh. Anyways, I digress. I keep saying the same thing over and over about her. So then they put a warrant out on Obi-Wan. He goes through a couple of things. She thinks that he's the actual criminal. Or sorry, that's right. I'm sorry about that. I was wrong. She puts out a bounty on Obi-Wan. And then the Inquisitors find out that's right. Okay, where are we here? And Obi-Wan, she figures Obi-Wan's bad for her. So then we have this wonderful, again, chase scene where she seems to be able to run faster than the adults. And we get a little bit of a fight here where Obi-Wan gets shot at. And then she sees it. And then the Inquisitor sees this. And then she does this. Able to do these nice, wonderful tricks. Ooh, I'm able to jump, leap, and bounds. Okay, even all the Jedis didn't do a lot of that. But I mean, okay, you want to improve on it, that's all right. Obi-Wan saves her, saves Leia as she's falling down. Just going to quickly jump to here. He helps Obi-Wan escape and tries to slow down the Grand Inquisitor. And then here's a part that I don't understand because I could be wrong this part because I didn't do a lot of research on the Inquisitor. But my understanding was that the Inquisitors, although knew a lot about the dark side, this would be one of the things that I think Darth Vader and Darth Sidious would not have taught the Inquisitors to do, because that would allow them to do some probing of other individuals' minds to find out their plans or able to overthrow them. I don't think. Oops, how come that's sorry? Don't think they would overthrow. I don't think it would be. I don't. I think it's just a weak writing to throw in to allow her to find out where Obi-Wan is going instead of trying to track him down. Then we get this part where she shows up. She says, "I can feel you." Okay, fair enough, possible. You're force sensitive. But then she says, "I can feel your fear," and I'm going like, there is no way Obi-Wan, even though after 10 years he's a Jedi Master, will allow his emotions to be broadcasted for somebody else to show up. And then we get this part. She says, "He's alive." That's right. Anakin, Darth Vader, is alive. And he's shocked. And I'm going like, I'm sorry, but 10 years? Even if Obi-Wan thought Anakin was dead, even if, because he would have known if Anakin was dead because the disturbance in the Force, that he would have heard about Darth Vader and the evilness of Darth Vader in the last 10 years. He would have figured out probably that was Anakin because he would have known that Anakin hadn't died because of the disturbance in the Force. It just fell flat here. And like, don't get me wrong, Ewan McGregor did an excellent job of playing the shock Obi-Wan Kenobi because that was what he was told to do. I don't think it fits. It's garbage as far as I'm concerned. And also, from my understanding, anybody that knew that Darth Vader was Anakin Skywalker was executed. And she knows that Anakin is Darth Vader and she's living. Yeah, I don't think so. Then the Grand Inquisitor comes in, tells her that this is not her job, stand aside. So she does. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I went too far. He tells her to stand aside, and she kills him. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Unless this person is going to be replaced by another Grand Inquisitor, it doesn't follow the other timeline in the animated series where the Grand Inquisitor kills himself. Again, timeline. Now, is he going to come back and everything is going to be hunky dory between the two of them? I don't think so. And this is where, again, your writing staff is trying to portray somebody and making another character look weak. What she should have done, or what the writers should have done here, was have Obi-Wan escape when the Grand Inquisitor was trying to capture him. She should have done something to allow Obi-Wan to escape because she knew now he's alive, she'll still have a chance to catch him and make the Grand Inquisitor look bad in the eyes of Darth Vader. By that, you had him. You had him and you let him go. Instead, no, we have her kill him and giving the obstinance that she has, just sits there and like I said, it was bad. It was bad. And I understand the what they were trying to do here was introduce Darth Vader into the storyline, and there you go, you get Darth Vader right there. And that's, to me, is a sequence where they now realize they're both alive. To me, no, they would have known that from day one. That's how episode 2 finished. Where are we gonna go from here? Well, as I said, they're gonna still have her overact, and I don't know whether the Grand Inquisitor will be back because there was some previews in the trailers that show sequences that he's not there, but they always seem to put stuff in that may not show up in the episodes. I think you're going to see her chase Obi-Wan down, figure out that Anakin is Anakin, and realizes, or sorry, not Anakin, sorry, Luke is Anakin's son, and figures out that she needs to save him. They'll send somebody out to go after Luke, and she's going to intercept and kill them all to ensure that is not discovered. Um, that's my opinion. You know, the rumor mills is that she says she's killed, and Darth Vader doesn't believe her and kills her. Either way, she's gonna end up turning and discovering the light. The problem is we don't have any invested interest in this character. We have no disdain for this character. We have no, whether we like it or like the character or hate the character, because sometimes, like Boba Fett, he was a notorious bounty hunter, but he was one of the favorite characters. Instead, we have this character that is been brought on, force fed to us, that she just miraculously shows up somehow as an inquisitor because she lived on the streets and made herself available. And I like I said, I pointed her out at the very beginning in the Padawan. The other ones, I'm wondering if they'll show up. The other Padawans there somewhere along the line. And that's how she starts realizing has gone down the wrong path, along with Obi-Wan helping her out. Well, she'll see. Anyways, if you like what you've seen, hit the like button down below. Subscribe to my channel as there'll be more stuff. If you didn't like what I said, hey, dislike the button. Hit the dislike button. Comments are always welcome, whether they're positive or negative, as long as they're respectful. Take care and peace out.